Because it's Sports Personality, live on BBC One tomorrow evening, isn't it? So it's that time of year when we look back at great sporting achievements, and this is one that might have gone under the radar, but this Christmas, Great Britain are celebrating being the world champions in Speedway, which is the rawest form of motorsport, motor racing. A bit like if you imagine chariot racing,
Yes.
but you've got bikes with no brakes that go very fast, round and round, racing
Doesn't
head to
sound
head.
safe.
Lots of crashes.
Sounds like
It's
Mike
very
Bushell
fun.
needs to get on one.
Well, no, because this time we're celebrating the Great Britain team's achievements. Yeah, so I went along, this was before they went off on their winter break. It's the first time it's happened, by the way, since the late 1980s. Before they went off their break, I went to the National Speedway track at Bellevue in Manchester to reflect on how they won the Speedway of Nations there. On the edge of glory, a face full of dirt sliding into the big time. And looking back on a day that Dan Bewley will never forget, the climax to the international season which made the rider from Cumbria a global speedway superstar, just 6 years after he left school, as he helped Great Britain to become world champions for the first time in 32 years.
It's something, since you're a kid, you know, you kind of dream of something like that, and especially being here at my home track, you know, racing here every week, and then to do it, you know, as high as it can get, you know, racing for your country, it's pretty special.
Dan got his chance because of what happened to Britain's multiple individual world champion, Ty Woofenden, on the first day of the Speedway of Nations World Cup. A horrific crash, and although Ty was thankfully able to walk away, he was injured and out of the team. And so it was Super Sub Dan who came off the bench to help his country complete their win on the final day.
It was a difficult one, you know, watching Ty go down in such a horrible crash, and you know, initially it was just hoping he would get up, and it wasn't until the next morning we found out the news I was in, so you know, it was a little bit of a sleepless night waiting to see what would happen.
All the more nerve-wracking because of the jeopardy involved, going hell for leather with no brakes in this rawest form of motorsport.
I think if you go back far enough, the closest thing to it's probably chariot racing, you know, it's a real simple form of motorsport. They raced around an oval, and you know, they had charts and horses, and now we have 70 horsepower engines, and you know, our bikes are not much more complicated than a chariot. They're pretty simple, and you know, they didn't want to give an inch back then, and nothing's changed really. The racing's just the same.
Hey. Some of the riders have been back at Bellevue Stadium in Manchester to celebrate their historic achievement, to hold the version of the trophy the winners actually get to keep. At 20 kilos, one of the heaviest cups in any sport, and made from a Speedway engine, of course. And to get in a final few laps before the sport goes into its winter break. And the British team now goes into that break as world champions for the first time since 1989. And he knows to have done it and won the World Championship here at the National Speedway Centre in front of a home crowd. It could well be a defining moment for the sport.
Well needed shot in the arm for the sport in this country. It raises awareness of the sport, and what we really need to do is get more. You need to get more people watching the sport. It's a fantastic sport to watch. It's so exciting, but I just think it goes a little bit under the radar. And what you're looking for long term is more young riders to come into it. Speedway's got to be the most accessible motorsport around. Speedway doesn't require that. It's a relatively small investment, and you will see returns straight away.
Tom Brennan started in racing on grass on mini bikes aged 6 and came to Speedway through motocross to become a world champion now.
Speedway's all over the night. It's the only thing I've sort of been taught how to do, and I've actually maintained, you know. So for me, school was pretty tricky, and Speedway's the one thing that I seem to be pretty good at. It's obviously pretty hard to explain the sort of rush you get from it. A meeting can last forever when you're having a good time, but also can be over and done when you're having a bad one.
In Eastern Europe, where the sport has a really high profile, the likes of Dan and Tom would be icons now and recognised wherever they went. And becoming world champions means they can now dream of the sport growing again here.
I had a little visit to Rome at the end of the season and seen the old Colosseum, and it was cool walking in here today. It's you know, obviously not the same size, but it's 2 oval tracks, and you know, who knows, maybe in a few years we'll have something the size of the Colosseum to race in.
As the saying goes, when in Rome. Mike Bushell, BBC News, Manchester. Yeah, huge congratulations. There's so much jeopardy on the line in that racing as well. Anything can happen, as we saw with Ty Woofenden. He can be a multiple world champion, and suddenly it's over.
Yeah.
Amazing.